Have you ever felt stuck trying to learn English? You start motivated, but after a while, frustration takes over, and you feel like giving up? If so, you're not alone. But here's the truth. Fluency is not a talent, it's a process. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly what it takes to become fluent in English. No shortcuts, no magic tricks, just real, effective strategies. And by the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap to follow. So, before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and stay until the end, because I have a challenge for you that will change the way you learn English forever. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest myths that's holding you back from becoming fluent. Many people believe that fluency happens overnight. Maybe you've seen ads promising that you can become fluent in just 30 days. But let's be honest, have you ever seen someone learn a new language that fast? Learning English is like learning to drive or play an instrument. At first, everything feels unnatural and you make mistakes. But with practice, you get better. Imagine if a guitarist gave up just because he couldn't play perfectly on the first day. It sounds silly, right? Yet, that's exactly what many English learners do. They expect perfection too soon. The biggest problem? Traditional methods often focus too much on grammar rules and not enough on real practice. You memorize endless lists of verbs, but never actually use them in conversations. This makes learning feel slow and frustrating. So, if fluency isn't instant, then what's the real key? The answer is consistency. And in the next section, I'll show you exactly how to build it into your daily life so that English becomes second nature. Fluency isn't about studying for hours one day and then doing nothing for a week. It's about showing up every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. Think of it like planting a tree. If you water it daily, it grows strong. But if you ignore it for weeks, it weakens. Repetition is the key. Bruce Lee once said, "I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times." The same applies to English. The more you repeat, the more natural it becomes. Let me ask you something. How did you learn to ride a bike? You probably wobbled, maybe even fell a few times, but you kept going. One day, without even thinking, you were riding smoothly. That's how fluency works. So, how do you stay consistent? Start small. Just 15 minutes a day can make a huge difference. Learn phrases, not just words. Instead of memorizing go, went, gone, learn I went to the store. Listen to English everyday podcasts, music, or movies. Make English a part of your life. Now, let's talk about the biggest fluency killer, the fear of making mistakes. In the next section, I'll show you how to overcome it and start speaking with confidence. Have you ever wanted to say something in English, but stopped yourself because you were afraid of saying it wrong? If so, you're not alone. Fear of making mistakes is one of the biggest barriers to fluency. But here's the truth. Mistakes are part of the learning process. Think about how babies learn to talk. Do they worry about grammar? No, they try, fail, and try again until they get it right. No one laughs at them or says they should stop trying. But when we grow up, we become afraid of looking silly. That fear holds us back. The good news: you can train yourself to overcome this fear. Here's how. Talk to yourself in English. Describe what you're doing, even if it's simple. I am making coffee. Record your voice. It feels strange at first, but hearing yourself helps build confidence. Repeat lines from movies or songs. Copying native speakers improves pronunciation and rhythm. Accept that mistakes are normal. Even native speakers make grammar mistakes. The most fluent speakers are not the ones who know the most grammar. They're the ones who practice without fear. One of the biggest shifts in fluency happens when you stop translating in your head and start thinking directly in English. But how do you do that? Imagine this. You see an apple. Do you first think ma in your native language and then translate it to apple? If so, your brain is working too hard. The goal is to see the apple and immediately think apple. Here's how you can train your brain to think in English. Name things around you in English as you walk around your house or outside. Try to identify objects in English. Door, car, tree, blue sky. Describe what you're doing. If you're making breakfast, say to yourself, I am pouring coffee. I am eating toast. Ask yourself simple questions. What will I do next? What time is it? How do I feel? Then answer in English. Use English to English definitions instead of translating words. Use explanations in English. A chair is something you sit on. Create an English time. Set aside 10-15 minutes a day where you only think in English. At first, it will feel strange, but with daily practice, your brain will adapt. One day, you'll realize you're thinking in English naturally. That's when fluency starts to happen. Now, let's move on to another key factor in mastering English: creating strong daily habits. Learning English is like going to the gym. You won't see results overnight, but with consistent effort, you will get stronger. The key to fluency isn't talent or intelligence. It's creating a daily habit that makes English a natural part of your life. Here's how you can build a powerful learning routine. Start small. Instead of studying for hours and getting overwhelmed, begin with just 10-15 minutes a day. Attach English to your daily routine. Listen to a short podcast while making breakfast or read an article before bed. Make English fun. Watch movies, listen to music, and play games in English. Learning should never feel like a chore. Use habit tracking. Keep a small notebook or use an app to track your daily English practice. Seeing your progress will motivate you to keep going. Find an accountability partner. A friend or online language partner can keep you motivated and help you stay consistent. Think about it this way. If you improve just 1% every day, in a year, you'll be 365% better than when you started. Fluency isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. Now that you understand how to develop strong habits, let's wrap up everything with a powerful conclusion to keep you motivated on this journey. Fluency isn't a destination, it's a journey. Every small step you take brings you closer to your goal. Maybe today you can only say a few sentences in English, but imagine where you'll be in 6 months if you practice daily. Remember, mistakes are not failures, they are signs of progress. The only way to truly fail is to give up. Every time you listen, speak, or think in English, you are training your brain to adapt. So here's my challenge for you. What's one small step you will take today to improve your English? Leave a comment below and commit to your progress. And if you found this video helpful, subscribe for more tips and motivation. The more you practice, the closer you get to fluency. Keep going, you've got this. Now that we've tackled the fear of mistakes, let's move on to something even more powerful, thinking in English. This is the real game changer for fluency.